as a team, you learn to be competitive in everything that we do, and I think we're just trying to realign ourselves as a team, as a group, and our leaders are taking control of that, and you get back to what Duke football is, playing nasty, physical, and most importantly, just having fun, and that's what makes it so special about this team is like when we're all together, like we're unstoppable, but we just got to make sure we're all on the bus together and ready to roll. So there's like a middle ground where people like try and solve all the world's problems when they come off a loss. For us, it's more just like realigning the team, and Coach Diaz does a really good job of this every week, just mentally aligning the team together, making sure it's all about our preparation and our mindset, and when we get locked back into that, like the world is ours.
Ready? Here's the snap. Gonna throw to the end zone, right corner, and it is caught for the touchdown, and it's Andrell Anthony, who's got his 5th of the season, and the Blue Devils have the lead. Here's the snap, a give to Shepard through the left side, into the end zone for the 2nd time today. Nate Shepard now with 7 on the season, and we're tied at 20. Mensah walks up under center. Here's the snap, rolls to the right, looking downfield, lost it for King, what a catch! Touchdown! And Duke has the lead! He wasn't wide open, but Manny made the play. It's Mensah to throw, wide open, Hazley! Touchdown! Jeremiah, what a time for your first touchdown of the season! And most importantly, Duke has the lead. And Manny Diaz will walk across. Bitter disappointment here in East Hartford as the Blue Devils fall on the road, 37-34.
Disappointing outcome at Connecticut. They were able to possess the ball a lot in the first half. Getting halftime, they're only down by 3. We come out in the second half, 3 straight touchdowns on our offense, but our inability to get off the field on 2 of their drives in the fourth quarter. We get them in 3rd down and long. Can't stop them. And by the time we get the ball back on offense, we're under 2 minutes, and now you got to go against, a very exotic blitz package and well-disguised coverages. It's very difficult for any offense to execute, and ultimately we weren't able to do it.
I mean, you got to give, credit to UConn. I mean, they came out and played their best. Obviously, it starts with, turnovers and hold on the ball. That's our, number 1 goal each and every game is to not give up the ball. So it's very frustrating that, we didn't get the, outcome we wanted, but, kudos to UConn because they came out and played.
They throw a lot at you. I think they ran 4 or 5 trick plays in the first half of the game. But what they want to do is they want to run outside zone. We actually did a good job of shutting that down. I don't think they had a run for more than 8 yards in the game. And we got them, they scored 3 touchdowns on drives. We got them to 4th down. And so our inability to stop 4th downs, including the crucial one late in the game, ultimately proved to be the difference. Even before the iPad, you're always making adjustments, in between drives. I mean, at times even during drives, based off of what you're seeing, because you never, you prepare based off all the information you have, and something always different is going to show up on game day. And especially if you're really good, people are going to try to do different things to take away what you do well. People defend our offense differently every week. And so our offensive staff has done a really, really nice job of finding out where the holes are in the defense. And I said the way we came out, the 3 drives at a halftime, showed how locked in and dialed in we were.
Coach's message was simple, when you come off a big win like last week and you don't have your mind in the right place and everything, then this is what happens. You get upset the next week. So, just for the future, we're just ready to put our heads back down, have that chip on our shoulder, and get ready to go.
Well, mindset affects preparation, and preparation dictates performance. And when you start talking about a team, you could have 100 guys with 100 different mindsets. You're trying to figure out where the majority of the mindset is. And we had some guys that played their absolute best game on Saturday at Connecticut. And as I mentioned, when you have a game that came down to such crucial moments, as I mentioned, stopping fourth downs. I always go back to what's your process, and does your process change? And you have to meet success and failure the same way in this game. It's all about how you respond and what you do next. And I do think there'll be some guys on our team that learned a great lesson from that. The sport counts on you to be at your best on Saturday, right? And so when we talk about our best, being better than your best, that requires your best preparation. And so, again, anything that we don't like about our performance, we don't talk about a performer, we talk about our process to get to the performance. And so you double back on how you practice, you double back on how you prepare, you double back on how you work to get yourself where you can relax and just go attack game day and feel confident you can play your best.
Duke All Access is brought to you by Coca-Cola. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. Fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long-distance love. For the far-sighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
Fact. It's Ford Truck Month, and it's the best time to get a great deal on a new Ford truck. From the company that assembles more vehicles, employs more hourly workers, who help make Ford the best-selling truck brand in the Carolinas. It's Ford Truck Month. Get great deals on a huge selection, and that's a fact. Now get 0% financing for 60 months plus no payments for 90 days on select 2025 F-150 trucks.
Let's go, bud. Hurry up. Come on. I'm a baseball dad. Just because I didn't go pro doesn't mean my kid won't. Give me that.
No pressure, kid. Just everyone watching.
Coach says it doesn't matter if you win or lose the game, but that's what losers say. You got to swivel those hips, right? And you got to swing. Four! And if you don't have the right insurance, you can be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Man, here's the deal. Duke football has become a gritty, hard-nosed, high-functioning team that now has a quarterback that's absolutely electric. So I'm excited to see it.
Seconds to work with. And still 2 timeouts. From the shotgun, Minceretti, he's got it. Looking downfield, backpedals, rolls to the right, launches in zone for Higgins. He's got it! Touchdown! Samir Higgins reels it in, and the Blue Devils find pay dirt. So fresh set of downs, 18 seconds to go at the Clemson 43 now. Down 28-21. Here's the shotgun snap to Mensah. Good protection. Steps out of the pocket. Wants it all with Brown. He's got it! Touchdown! 43 yards! A lightning bolt before halftime!
Actually, I didn't play receiver until my junior year in high school. My freshman and sophomore year, I played running back, and I had to talk with my dad. I'm like, Dad, I feel like I can succeed with being a receiver, and he believed in me and he trusted my word for it, and ever since then, it just continued to go up from here.
I played running back, started my football career off from like ages 6 to like 12. But then once I had got to I think like 6th grade, there was like a weight limit, and I was a little bit bigger when I was a kid, so I couldn't play running back anymore. So I had to figure out how I can get the ball in my hands, and that's why I started playing receiver.
And it's Mensah to throw on first down. They pick up the blitz well. He's got all day. To the right, he's got Higgins inside the 10, down the sideline, and into the end zone for the touchdown. Incredible footwork to stretch the lead. It's 27-20. He's got Shepard to his right. Here's the snap. He will throw. They bring pressure. Doesn't get home. End zone for Brown on the left. He's got it. Touchdown. Quayshawn Brown, full extension. And the Blue Devils are an extra point away from tying it.
Both players have the great combination. They're both physically gifted. have great speed and acceleration, and just in great, what I would call competitive greatness. You know, just their toughness and some of the tough catches that they've made on, especially on some possession downs.
Yeah, I knew Queso was going to be a playmaker when he got here. You know, seeing the work that he put in. You know, especially when he got here. You know, he was getting some good reps with the quality guys. You know, with some starters. And, you know, just waiting his turn. You know, I think he's been patient and definitely, you know, he's kept his head down, kept working. And then like last season, we've seen it a little bit where he took off, but this year, you know, he's going crazy. So I think it's good.
I definitely took advantage of extra days, you know, going down to the indoor, working just me and a couple other receivers, or even sometimes just me, just working on things that from last year that I needed to work on, you know, extra film, extra time with my coach, just seeing where he think I can grow in different things, and I took advantage of that.
Into the throw, has time again, this time to the end zone, got his man, it's Brown, and it is caught for the touchdown! Quayshawn Brown with his second of the season, and what a start on the road. Here's Mintz to the snap, rolls to the right, fires, Higgins, he'll take it in, and Duke has the lead! 46-45 with 40 seconds to go. Samir Higgins having an afternoon in Death Valley.
I definitely progressed in terms of my leadership role, you know, starting from a younger guy in the room back in 2021 to being the oldest guy in the room now, 2025, you know, just seeing the different types of people that have gone through the room, you know, all their leadership qualities, you know, it's finally being my room, you know, getting my own hand on it and just, you know, helping build the younger guys after me.
He's doing amazing. You know, I see all the all-season work that he had put into this, and it's really coming to the light, and I'm pretty sure he'll keep on doing good, and I'm happy for him.
They have versatility. You know, we were able to play with two tight ends a lot against Connecticut, and Quayshawn Brown was able to be one of the two remaining wide receivers, so he's not just always, you know, a slot guy. Samir Higgins can play on the inside and on the outside. But the biggest thing, they both have complete confidence from our quarterback. Mensah, you know, has gone to them in crucial situations, and both guys have responded with big catches, and it's part of what our vision is of an offense, of having weapons everywhere where the defense really can't focus in on any one guy.
You know, anytime me and Darian, a play doesn't look like how we want it to look, we stay out there and work on it 5 times, and I feel like that helps a lot. That builds confidence, and I'll say just prepping for the game, I try to build confidence by having talks with God, you know, keeping my mind right, getting my focus right, and I always close my eyes and envision myself making plays before I do it, because I feel like that's the best way to do things.
I think the confidence comes from the preparation that not only myself but the team puts in throughout the week. You know, starting with our Tuesday practices, you know, meetings, practice Wednesday, and then Thursday, you know, starting to slow down the tempo a little bit, get closer to the game on Saturday. I think everything plays a vital role in how we succeed on Saturday. I think that's where my confidence comes from.
Second and goal off the 15. Here comes pressure. Lost it to the left. Higgins got it. Touchdown. Spinning his way in for his first score of the season. Meanwhile, Mensah going up top for Brown, and this one is caught. Spinning down at the Elon 26-yard line. What a throw. What a catch.
We believe in each other. You know, every week is not going to be your week, and I feel like whoever week it is, the others in the room is happy for them, man. When you have a room like that, you know, you can do amazing things when there's no jealousy flowing around and it's trust in everybody, and you know your brother beside you can get the job done just like you can.
I think it's the locker room culture, you know. I mean, obviously you can see nowadays guys, you know, going to certain schools, leaving because of maybe money or, you know, just situations. I think the situation at Duke for me has been pretty good. You know, it's also about, you know, after football, I think Duke is the reason. That's why the reason I chose Duke in the first place. You know, it's a 40-year decision, not a 4-year. But also, you know, just getting around the locker room, since I've been here, you know, the guys have shown me nothing but love, you know, always been respect, and I think this is a place that I love.
Keeps it himself, rolls right, fires, end zone, touchdown. Samir Higgins.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers, for the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists, for long distance love, for the farsighted, nearsighted, for introverts and extroverts, for the thinkers and the doers, for old friends. Coca-Cola, for everyone.
Turn up the heat on the competition this season with CPI Security, proud partner of the Duke Blue Devils.
Hey, what's up, roomie? I got us some Jersey Mike subs.
Danny DeVito? Are you my freshman roommate?
And that doesn't matter. This is a Jersey Mike's commercial where the subs matter most. I mean, look how big that is. We'd eat that for lunch and for dinner. Hey, we'd eat that. Hey, who let the rents in? You want a Jersey Mike's?
Introduce us to your new roommate.
Mom, it's Danny DeVito.
That's mine. Don't touch it. Where the subs matter most. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
From the mountains to the coast and everywhere in between, Duke's researchers are working hard for North Carolina so you can be there for the moments that matter the most. From our labs to the ones you love.
Duke Research saves lives.
Yerk to punt, gets it away. Brown will have a chance to return this one from the 22-yard line on the left side of the field, angling right. He's got a wall across the 35 and 40. Brown is loose, one man to beat, down the right sideline. Quayshawn Brown takes it all the way home for the touchdown. Speed from number 7 to tack on another, and it's 37-17.
Hey, that's an amazing feeling, you know, and I plan on breaking another one soon, but I realized that my teammates blocked the return up right how we did in practice, and honestly, I caught the ball and I just ran, and they handled the rest of that. So that was an amazing feeling, and I plan on getting back in that end zone again on punt return.
Brown and Hagans are both having a phenomenal year, not just on offense, but as returners. Samir is now one of the top elite kickoff return men in the entire country. Quayshawn Brown is one of the top punt returners in our conference. And so what they both guys have is the ability to create explosive plays, make big things happen for our team. I love the way that they're affecting winning, and I love how much they care about this program and how they'll do anything to help us win a game.
And a yard deep. Hagans is going to bring it out on the right across the 5, the 10, the 15. Looking for a seam. He's got it, and there he goes across midfield 30. Samir Hagans making a house call touchdown. And there are no flags on the field, and Duke is an extra point away from tying it.
Yeah, I think it was 35-28. You know, Coach Infante and Coach Diaz always talk about special teams capturing momentum, especially at away games, you know, taking the home crowd out of it. So I think it was just perfectly timed, you know, 35-28, Clemson had just scored, and then we went out there and we executed. I think it all goes into trust. As a returner, you know, trusting that my teammates will get their blocks done with the right leverage, which the guys have done a great job of this year. You know, allowing me to get some long returns, even ones that haven't gone for touchdowns. Just takes a little bit of trust, you know, everybody understand their assignment and what the, you know, intended outcome of the play is. Our coaches do a good job of giving us a nice game plan based off of what they saw in film. But then, you know, in our own time, you know, going back to see what the kicker does and the other opposing team. And then, you know, just reps on the field in practice. You know, we run the returns a couple times in practice, and they end up hopefully going like how the game goes.
And returnable for Jones, throws it back for Hagans. Why not? From the one on the left side. 10-15, angles right. Can he get to the edge? They got blockers over there. 20, 25, and 30. There goes Hagans. Down the right sideline, 45-40. Samir making a house call in Jacksonville. All the way for a touchdown. 99 yards, ultimately on the run back for Samir Hagans.
It's a pretty good feeling, you know. I feel like it's much different than the offensive play, you know. Special teams is very much momentum between offense and defense. So, you know, for kick return, you know, our defense may have just given up a score or coming out of half or something. I think it's just a good way to gain momentum for our team.
Honestly, the main thing is confidence. You know, once you go out there with confidence, I feel like the rest handles itself. But I say the main thing is confidence and believing in your teammates to do their job and believing in the coaches scheme up for the return. And I feel like, yeah, that's really what's the main thing is confidence. My prep for that is as high as it is for the receiver on the offensive side. It's a pretty important thing in the game, you know, changing the field, different opportunities to set my offense up in good field positions. And yeah, just taking care of that. I take a lot of time throughout the week to focus on the punter and the different formation that they're running and stuff like that. So I say pretty much a lot during the week.
The 20 bobbled it. Now he's ready. 25 up the right sideline. 30. He's got a lane. Hagan's down the right sideline. Across midfield. Still on his feet. 40. Down the sideline. 20. Hagan's to the house. Touchdown.
Back when I was playing when I was younger, you know, I was pretty good with the ball in my hands. So, you know, it was just thinking of more ways for us to figure out how I can get the ball in my hands outside of just offense. So I think once I caught the kicks back in high school, you know, my teammates back then, they did a good job of blocking, but I also had a pretty good feel for how the return was going to go and where I should take it, and I think it's just carried on to college.
Duke All Access is brought to you by Gatorade, created to hydrate better than water. Gatorade, the official sports drink of Duke Athletics.
It's bow time. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, the Carolina legend can make your tailgate a winner. We're talking crispy chicken, made from scratch buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your crew faster than you can say touchdown. Let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time.
We understand your time is important, and so is how you measure it. You may want a beautiful timepiece that's able to perform under intense pressure. Or you may want a chronograph with unparalleled accuracy and a sophisticated style. At Reed's Jewelers, you'll find the perfect watch to measure your time. Time is the currency of your life. Measure it well.
Thought they were out of style, huh? Well, check their new game day fit. Oh, snap! DirecTV got hot.
That's right. DirecTV is flexing with all those pro and college games at your fingertips. This ain't your dad's cable, son. It's Couture.
Thank you. I got this. Catching your favorite teams is easy. Whether it's on live TV or streaming, your games are front and center.
We're talking tailor fit. DirecTV ain't playing.
They're playing football.
Well, yeah, obviously they're playing football, but they knew what I was talking about.
You look ridiculous.
I think you look nice.
Yeah, you look nice, too.
It's bow time. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, the Carolina legend can make your tailgate a winner. We're talking crispy chicken, made from scratch buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your crew faster than you can say touchdown. Let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time.
Hear live, out-of-market play-by-play this year with the Varsity Network app. In a truly unique listening experience, capture every moment and all of the drama. Powered by Learfield, the Varsity app delivers the soundtrack of your favorite teams. Access live and on-demand audio broadcasts, plus over 100 official school podcasts for free through the Varsity app. Download the Varsity Network app today.
Duke Football 360 with Dave Harding.
There's one position on the offense, Coach, that is about as much of a Swiss Army knife as you could possibly imagine. That's the tight end position, having to block, having to catch passes down the field. We've got some really good tight ends on this roster.
Yeah, we always try to focus on things that maybe people miss or the unsung heroes. And Jeremiah Hazley, Landon King, even Jake Taylor, Tony Boggs, our tight end room has been phenomenal this year. And some of these plays are just so fun to watch, of not just the explosive nature, but the toughness of that position. Really, the guys that can do it all, right? And so when people try to take away, if you look at the coverage, and they're trying to take all of our receivers away by 3 over 2 to the field, 2 over 1 to the boundary, and Darian's got enough great sense just to check it down, right, to the tight end, right over the middle of the field. Now, that has a chance to be, maybe a first down, but what can you do after the catch? Look, makes 2 guys miss with we call that a tight turn. Get right back north and south, vertical. Every DB's nightmare to see a big tight end lumbering down the middle of the field like that, right?
I love watching his ball security, too. I mean, he's got it high and tight, playing with great technique.
Yeah, they're going to chase him. And watch it. He even gets a little chip right here. Bang, he's going to help the offensive lineman if that guy wanted to rush outside. So he's doing a lot of things, right? But that tight turn right there and getting vertical, able to protect the ball, big-time explosive play to get us down to the red zone. Shows up again later, same type of concept, right? So again, we got the ball on the happy side of the field. He's down here at the bottom, right? And same deal, gets a little chip on the defensive end. Are any of the receivers open down the field? No, they're trying to double everybody, right? Yep. 2 safeties over the top of the outside guys, doubled. Well, they can't double everybody on offense, and that's the great thing about having weapons everywhere, right? And again, you have a quarterback that's patient enough to check it down, and then check downs become explosive.
How much of a route like this, before he gets the ball, is in terms of feel and him being able to see what the defense is doing and knowing where to sit.
Yeah, you got to find the soft spot, and there's a timing element, right? Because you see he's chipping the defensive end, right? So Darren's looking down the field first, and then just to show him his eyes, show the hands right there, get set up, and then another tight turn, right?
Yeah, look at that.
And that's the big block. See how they're trying to punch the ball, and see how he's got a leap ball security. He's got the offhand right over top of the wrist, just like it's taught. Big time finish again. Same thing. They're trying to hit the ball.
How many defenders on
Great
the ground?
ball security. Well,
4 defenders.
it takes about half the team to get them on the ground, right?
Look at that.
So just phenomenal effort, right? And then you got to reward phenomenal effort with big time plays, right? We're in a big, now talk about tight ends. We got all kinds of tight ends in the game. We're in a big formation. You got Tony Boggs over there on the right. Everyone thinks we're going to hand the ball to Anderson Castle on 3rd down and 1. Great play fake, pops it out, touchdown. Big time play. Watch from this camera angle again. You can see all the defensive eyes, right? Everyone's, watch the hand in there by Mensah. Great ball work. You see 32 over here on the right, loses sight of Jerry. They think Jerry's blocking down. Now, the backside defender, number 6, sees it late, so still a great way to layer that throw over the defender and puts it away. Big time play. Big time play. And we have the other one for another tight end, so it's the same thing. We have a 4th and 1. We get under center. Again, you got Castle in the backfield. Everyone's going to draw up. All defensive linemen are all submarining our offensive linemen. They take Castle out, so the first look's not there. And then just the confidence of Mensah to throw this in the back box. Yeah. Such a big-time play, right? By King to make that catch. You know what I mean? Just huge play in the game. Just great to be able to close a drive on a 4th down, right? Contested play, throwing it. The only place where we can make the catch, right? How elite is that? Big-time plays. But also want to show some clips of some dirty work as well, right? Last couple clips here. Watch Jerry on the block. Takes 89, throws him into the ground, right? Finishes him off. Just really tough guy. And again, a guy that can do it all. These are the plays you just don't, everyone might see the receptions, but these are the plays just fun to highlight to our guys. And then even Landon King, he's over here on the right now in the circle, and same thing. Getting more and more physical. Look what he does to that guy, creating a huge running lane right here for Castle. So, and there's, by the way, and here's Jerry working to condense that edge. So you see the 2 tight ends, you know what I mean, working in concert, and there's the hole right between them. So proud of those guys. They're a big part of our offense. Going to need them to play their best, you know, with what we have coming up in November.
Yeah, great athletes, physical, doing so many things to open up different plays in the Duke offense. Thanks, Coach.